At Dodger Stadium, under the glow of California lights and the roar of thousands of fans, something refreshingly simple unfolded. Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex were just living their lives. No palace pomp, no stiff royal posturing, just two people in love, wearing matching Dodgers caps, cheering like every other fan who showed up for a thrilling World Series night. It was the Dodgers versus the Toronto Blue Jays, and Los Angeles was buzzing. You could feel the electricity. The crowd was alive, the nachos were flying, and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were sitting front and centre, right next to legends like Magic Johnson, Sandy Koufax, and Hollywood's own Austin Butler. They laughed, clapped, whispered between innings, and soaked in the atmosphere. Cameras caught their joy, not the polished pose kind, but the real easy laughter that comes from two people who are genuinely happy. For a brief moment, they weren't the Sussexes. They were just Harry and Meghan, two fans enjoying America's favourite pastime. Even Major League Baseball's official account shared their photo online, calling them royalty in the front row. It was light-hearted, fun, and exactly what sports are supposed to be about. But of course, that piece lasted about 5 minutes before the British tabloids had a collective meltdown. Within hours, headlines popped up claiming, wait for it, that Meghan and Harry were booed at Dodger Stadium. Because apparently joy and normalcy aren't allowed when it comes to the Sussexes. Here's the hilarious part. There isn't a single shred of proof that any booing ever happened. Not one video. Not one eyewitness. Not one fan report. And this is 2025, a stadium packed with tens of thousands of phones recording everything from the pitch count to hot dog fights. If there was booing, you'd hear it on at least one of those clips. Instead, social media videos from that night show the opposite. People smiling, cheering, waving, and even snapping selfies when the cameras landed on Meghan and Harry. So where did this imaginary boo fest come from? From a completely different country, Canada. During a Toronto watch party, some Blue Jays fans booed when Dodgers supporters popped up on the big screen. You know, normal sports rivalry stuff. But tabloids being tabloids, they twisted that moment into Meghan and Harry get booed in LA. It's like claiming the crowd at a Liverpool bar booed Manchester United fans and somehow calling it a protest against the Queen. And this right here shows the absurd cycle the Sussexes are trapped in. Harmless events are turned into headline scandals overnight. A regular baseball rivalry turned into Los Angeles rejects the Sussexes. Except Los Angeles didn't. This city adores them. Let's be real. Meghan is one of their own. She grew up in LA. She went to Dodger games as a kid, and her love for the team runs deep. And Harry? He's become as Californian as it gets. Hiking, volunteering, surfing, coaching. He even probably knows which farmer's market sells the best organic avocados. They've built a genuine home here. But the British tabloids can't stand that. They need chaos, they need outrage. So when the real story is too positive, they manufacture the opposite. Meghan and Harry go to a baseball game. They were booed. Meghan launches a podcast. She's desperate. Harry visits veterans. He's attention-seeking. It's the same predictable playbook every time, and the double standards are laughable. Remember when William and Kate got booed, actually booed, at the Boston Celtics game in 2022? People chanted, USA, USA, so loud it drowned out the announcers. Did the media lose their minds over it? Nope. They called it light-hearted rivalry. But Meghan and Harry? They get imaginary boos from a different time zone, and suddenly it's humiliation. Please. The truth is, the press isn't reporting anymore. They're performing. Their job isn't to inform, it's to inflame. Because outrage pays, clicks pay, facts don't, they take one rumour, toss in a few sources, sprinkle in some passive-aggressive adjectives like embarrassing or awkward, and boom, instant scandal. Let's not forget, Meghan has supported both teams before. Back in her Suits days in Toronto, she proudly rocked Blue Jays gear. But long before that, she was cheering for the Dodgers with her dad, eating stadium hot dogs like every other LA kid. So when she showed up in a Dodgers cap next to her husband, she wasn't betraying anyone, she was coming full circle. But that context doesn't sell newspapers, does it? Here's the funniest part of this whole thing. If Meghan and Harry don't go out, the tabloids say they're hiding. If they do go out, they're accused of seeking attention. If they smile, it's fake. If they don't smile, they're miserable. If Meghan wears jeans, she's too casual. If she wears a dress, she's trying too hard. It's a never-ending soap opera created by journalists who can't stand the fact that Meghan left their script behind. But here's what really burns them. Despite every smear, every lie, every desperate attempt to tear them down, Meghan and Harry are thriving. You could see it that night. They weren't performing, they weren't pretending, they were just happy. And nothing infuriates bitter people more than seeing someone they've tried to destroy live peacefully. Now, let's zoom out for a second. That night at Dodger Stadium was about more than just baseball. It symbolized something deeper, freedom. Meghan and Harry have built a life outside palace control, outside the press manipulation, and outside the expectations of people who never wish them well. They're free to cheer for whoever they want, to love openly, to laugh without checking the front page of tomorrow's papers. And yet, the media still tries to pull them back into the mud. But you know what? Each time they fail, the Sussexes' credibility grows stronger. Every time a fake scandal collapses, the public starts asking the real question. Who's benefiting from all this drama? Because it's definitely not the audience. The only winners are the tabloids, cashing in on the chaos. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan just keep living their lives, doing charity work, raising their kids, building their brands, and, yes, enjoying baseball games without needing palace approval. They've turned their so-called exile into empowerment. And honestly, that's why the press keeps melting down. They've lost control of the narrative. For years, they painted Meghan as a villain. But every time she shows up smiling, grounded and unbothered, that old caricature crumbles a little more. They can't comprehend a woman who left the royal fishbowl and came out happier. So the next time you see a Meghan booed headline, just remember, the only ones booing are the tabloids. Booing at their own failure to break two people who refuse to play by their rules. Let's give credit where it's due. Meghan and Harry have managed to stay gracious through every storm. They didn't fire back at the fake reports. They didn't issue statements or clap back online. They let the truth do the talking. Because when the world sees you living well, there's no louder response than happiness. And maybe that's the lesson here. Joy is their quiet rebellion. Every laugh, every public appearance, every act of love is proof that they've moved beyond the noise. So yes, Meghan and Harry went to a baseball game. They cheered, they smiled, they left. That's it. No drama, no scandal. Just two people who've learned that freedom, peace and authenticity are the best revenge. And for those still stuck spinning lies, maybe it's time to retire the fake outrage and pick up a hobby. Might I suggest baseball? At least then, when you boo, you'll be doing it for the right team. If you enjoyed this deep dive and you're tired of the media's recycled nonsense about Meghan and Harry, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the Sussexes Unfiltered family. We're here to celebrate truth, joy, and independence. Tatishatana. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video to help more people see through the noise. Until next time, stay unfiltered.